Now, you see, when your identity is defined by society, you cannot resist it. You don't have the knowledge, you don't have the wisdom, you don't have the resources to understand that something's being put over on you. You cannot but help believe the definition of you as a free agent. But you believe yourself to be a free agent as a result of not being free. That is to say, of being hopelessly unable to resist society's identification of you.
There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. Because the owners of this country don't want that. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table to figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork, and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money.
You know, about to go to work soon, and just really been thinking, like, is this our culture? You know, waking up and doing the same thing over and over again. Is this what we call happiness? Like, this shit is really for the birds, you know, really working almost every day and barely having any time to, you know, actually enjoy life or explore. You know, long ago, people used to wake up every day, and every day would be a new adventure. But today, it seems like this is the normality for society, and this, in the way that we are doing the same things over and over again, it's like, it's killing our soul, you know what I'm saying? It's killing our spirit. It's killing our joy, you know, because we're conforming to what society calls norms because of money. You get what I'm saying? Because we think that we need it so much. And in many ways, we do need it, because it's what keeps this whole thing running. It's what keeps everything running. Excuse me. So it's like, if somebody's not working here, then how are we going to get this service or that service? But also, it's like, do we really need all these different services and restaurants? Do we really need this many businesses to make society work? You know? Do we need this many fast food chains, this many workers? It's kind of sad, you know? And I think that we should really be questioning the state of our mental health in times like these, because, you know, all the rest of the animals, they just live, you know, they're not, wouldn't it be weird to see like a bird going to work? You know what I'm saying? Like, they literally just live and rely on God to, you know, provide for them. But us, we always want more, and eventually us wanting more and always wanting more is going to be our downfall, because you know sometimes less is more, and you can appreciate the little things when you have less. But when you start getting more, you realize what else you can get, or you realize what else you don't have. And it makes us very unsatisfied. And it's okay to be unsatisfied with where you are and to want more in life, but on a larger scheme, we already have so much to be thankful for, and we still aren't happy with it. We still are not happy. So, what makes you think that you obtaining more objects is going to make you happy? What makes you think that? Because you already have so much to be thankful for. You know, we live way better than kings and queens per se of older ages. You know, we have hot water, we have heat, we have, you know, roofs over our heads, and we can drive in cars, whether that car be a 1999 or 2020, you know what I'm saying? Having a car, period, is a luxury, you know? Then you got a car with heat in it and cold air. You know? And the most sought out thing to be in life is normal. You want to be normal. You want to have this family. You want to have this white picket fence. You want to be married and live happily ever after. But is that really how it goes? In most cases, no. And we're seeing the divide between women and men get further and further. You know, and the reason why I made or created this YouTube channel was to really educate people, mainly men, on certain things that I've learned and certain things that I think about. You know, to have higher vibratory conversations that aren't being held on social media, you know, or aren't being held in regular conversations. You know, most of us don't even eat at the same table anymore like we did, or like they did when, you know, families were really around. So we don't talk about anything. And when you go to social media, all they're talking about is very low vibrational stuff. And you look at the news, very low vibrational stuff. They're talking about violence. They're talking about Trump. They're talking about this. They're talking about that. But all of this stuff is really just a distraction. It's distracting you from, you know, living your life to the fullest. All this politics stuff, all this display of violence and stuff is only making the world worse, because you are what you see, and you will do as you have seen in many cases, until you become conscious of it and learn how to change it. So displaying violence on TV is a program, one that reinforces your belief that the world is such a bad place. It only makes it a worse place. And many of these things that we see don't even affect us directly. You know, is this your culture? Scrolling on Instagram every day, posting pictures, looking at the biggest booties. You know, is this our culture? Twerking for fun? I mean, it's cool, but on a larger scale, like, what do we stand for? We don't stand for anything, and we falling for everything. Nobody's working together. Everybody wants to do things separately. Everybody's moving out, but when you move out, you're still not thriving. You're just surviving. And at a certain point, man, we gotta rise above just surviving. And at a certain point, we have to transcend this material world that we live in. You know, it's okay to have things, but at what point do you stop buying things and just save your money? You don't need any more things. and you work so much, you barely have time to spend time with these things that you buy. You bought this new car, but the only time you're in the car is when you're driving to work or coming home. Most of the time. Now's the time more than ever to realize and to reflect in this new year and really know what you're going to stand for going forward. And to really observe the world around us and how it has changed, and how it is changing. Because you will only see more of what is now. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing?